Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Orchard Farm and welcome to finally summer. Oh my God, the next time I have the bright idea to play this on a 9-day season, somebody kick me. It has been a hell of a job. But we are here in our final field of seeding. And things in the agricultural end are going quite well. I've got my wheat growing just fine on 2 stages of fertilization. I've got a canola field also growing amazingly well. And I decided that instead of paying for the larger tractor so that I could seed potatoes, I decided to get some sugar beets in. Also satisfying a request from Farmer Klein, who wants me to do sugar beets, but in the most painful way possible. And of course, being who I am, you throw me a challenge, and I'm like, yeah, I could probably do that. So we got a field of sugar beets coming up for harvest season. We have so much acreage here that it is going to be one hell of a harvest. Oh, and by the way, I got this really cool little seeder. It is absolutely amazing. It's a mod. It's a Verisim, and has nice little animation on the parts and a decent working width. I believe it's a 3 or 4 meter working width. So for the corn portion anyway, it's gone rather smoothly. I'm really enjoying this little thing. Now, it has a few little weak points. The extension on the arms doesn't seem to be enough, which is probably something I'm doing. Like if I go here, and then I go to put out, hang on, not that one, but that one, and I put that down, and then I back it up, lower it, and run it. It almost feels like the tracer is too close. It feels like it needs to be further away or something. Because if you look at the working space, when I come back, that tracer is going to be almost directly in the way of my... Like I'm going to end up with one wheel in it instead of having to follow it straight on. So I'm not crazy about that, but that's something I can work around. It's not the end of the world. So, but and when you're freehanding, I do like to use the tracers, but it's not. I don't know. It's not really that important to me. There you go. That shouldn't have happened. Hit the wrong button. Instead of folding, I ended up hitting the cruise control button. So, let's just set her up again. Yeah, I gotta go back in first person. I'm one of these people that, first person is sort of my default way to be. I think I got it on. Do I have it on? No, there it is. Okay, good. We're good. When it comes to doing this kind of detail work, I prefer to work from the cab. I always end up getting confused. For me, it's kind of like, driving a car versus driving a remote-controlled car. If you're good at RC, you're probably going to be good at third person. I've always sucked at RC, so it's just not my bag. Anyway, in pig production, we are up to 162 pigs, but we have a rather large problem with that. And basically, when it comes to seasons, I'm going to say it. I think seasons kind of breaks pigs. I don't think that it's doable to grow pigs profitable within seasons. This was the whole point of this experiment, is to see if we could get out of this with a bunch of pigs and a profit. And as of right now, my answer... Well, I'll go into it in more detail, but let's finish this field first. I've got 54% of seed left in this seeder. Let me empty out this seeder, and then when we go back to the farm, I'll show you what my problem is. Okay, well, that is almost done. I have to admit that it's been quite a marathon here. The pace of the videos on this series has been markedly slower than on the previous series, mostly because of the sheer scale of the fields. I started seeding this field of corn because I was waiting for the 10-degree temperature in seasons to allow me to do it. I started seeding this at 6 o'clock this morning, and I'm going to check the time in a couple of seconds, and we'll see how we did. But I've only got 51 liters of seed left. Let's see. Should I drop some of that in here? Let's see. Let's get off the field. What did I miss? What did I miss? I missed a little bit here. Let's go ahead and drop the seeder here. And just patch up this little bit. Yeah, close enough. Okay. So, we got this field done today. So that was pretty nice. So I'm still playing at 5 times speed for my, in terms of my game time. So that's going to produce quite a bit of corn. More than 100 pigs could ever need. But, you know, though this is a pig experiment, it's also farm sim, and I do enjoy the work. So, you know me. Cultivated, plowed, fertilized to stage 2. We're going to wait for it to pop up, and then we're going to give it a 3rd stage of fertilization using the sprayer. And we should have an absolutely stunning harvest this year. We'll be able to make a ton of dough on that because, you know, that's our wheat field. It popped up on day 1 of summer. So it's doing quite well. And I'm going to cut through here because this is our canola field. It's also doing excellent. Ignore the wheat in the first row. I did my usual forget to change the seed type thing. And out on the other end over there in one of those fields, I've got some sugar beets. Just a smaller field. It took me less than a day to do the wheat field. It began the canola field at the end of that first day. And then I finished the canola field, which is larger than the wheat field, turns out. And then I managed to get the beet field in before spring was over. So now in first day of summer, all I have here is my I had my cornfield to plant, and that was it. So had I wanted to do soybeans instead of canola, I would have had to plant that today also or tomorrow. But since how things were going so well with the wheat field, I just carried on and got it all done in one shot. So let's just take a small moment here. Back this up. Okay. And out we go. Alright, so, yeah, let's just clean all that up. If you don't clean your equipment in seasons, the game takes it out of you in cost and in repairs. So, we gotta do that. Gotta keep things clean, gotta keep things indoors, gotta keep things maintained, because every dollar counts when you're doing small-scale agriculture. So that's nice. Okay, perfect. Okay, put that back. And let's just back this guy into the barn. I'll put him in the stack of other equipment. I'm going to need that sprayer again, so I will put this in front of the cultivator and the plow. I kept the other seeder outside because, frankly, it's a work of art. Oh, one thing about this seeder, though, is I keep feeling like it needs a PTO or something. It's an air seeder, and I can see that there is some sort of compression tool for like the hose to put air into the seeding parts. But I don't know. Am I wrong? Like, should that thing be running off of a PTO? I don't know. Anyway, so oh, sorry. Turn it off first. There you go. I like the way the engine note changes when you turn off things now. All right, so we have all of our fields seeded. We are ready to rock and roll. And what time is it? It is 5:30 in the afternoon. So my day is done. So here we go. So if you look at field 18 is my wheat field, field 20 is my corn field, field 19 is my canola field, and field 14 is my beet field. So we're all ready to rock and roll. Technically speaking, we have everything we need to raise a herd of 1,000 sheep, 1,000 pigs. But here's the bad news. We've got ourselves 162 pigs. So I figure that's a 50% reproduction rate on the original investment of 100 pigs, which is pretty good. I mean, we bought 100 pigs. We've got 62 pigs that reproduced. We had to spend almost $40,000 on corn and canola we did sunflower and we had wheat and we went through both pallets of potatoes and we still have 3 hay bales left, but they're all doing pretty good. So I did my last feeding last night and that gave me let's see here. So let's just look at our accounts here. Economically speaking, we are not doing great. We ended up having to spend $160,000 in loans on top of the $470,000. Actually, we showed up with a $100,000 loan. So $60,000 is what it's cost us on top of the original investment of $360,000 on pigs. And on top of all the food costs, and on top of all the seeding costs, and the leasing of equipment, and so on and so forth. So right now we're $160,000 in the hole. So at the current price for selling pigs, which is this button, if I sell one pig, I'm getting $1,180 for a pig. With 161 pigs in the barn, that is well below my original investment. And I still haven't bought a harvester, and I still haven't gotten my wheat in. So this makes no sense at all for me. We can't raise pigs and make a decent profit, because by the time I'm done leasing the harvester to bring that crop in, I'm gonna have to feed these little guys all summer, all spring, all autumn, and all of winter to be able to get that $1,700 price again. So let me pull out my magic calculator here. 161 pigs at the highest price that I can get for them, which was $1,718 or something like that, will give me $276,000. That's all fine and dandy. I can take that entire crop that I have, set it aside. Next year, my herd will grow by another 50%, which will get me over 200 pigs. So by next summer, I should have, let's estimate, 215 pigs by next summer. If I hang on to them until the following year and do this whole process again, they will get me $400,000. But I got to go through 2 full cycles of that. And $400,000 is still not the investment that I originally put into it. So it makes no sense at all to raise pigs. So, and right now, if I sold them at the current price of, let's see, what was the price again? Sell. So trusty calculator says 161 times 1188. I am currently sitting with $191,000 worth of pigs in my barn. Not enough. Never going to get it back. It's just not going to happen. The best I can hope for is to sell off these pigs, make $191,000, harvest my grain, whatever I get for that, and I still don't know how much that's going to be, and try to walk out of here with my skin. So I did some research, tried to figure out what do pigs actually reproduce like. So according to research with the American Hog Farmers Association, they did a research based on how many piglets do you get from a single mated female? How many weaned pigs do you get per year from a single mated female? So I'm going to post a link for this also. But if you have more than 30 pigs in your herd, in a farm of like 30 pigs or more, and this was a study done in 32 different farms, the number of pigs you get per pig is 31 pigs per pig. If you have less than 30 pigs, but more than 22 pigs, which is the vast majority of what this study was based on, you still get 25 weaned pigs every year from each mated female. So I don't know how Seasons Mod can fix that for us. I think we could get close to those kind of numbers if we weren't running Seasons Mod, but in the current structure, with the current economy, this current system just doesn't work. Look at that one. There's got that old wizard hat on it. It's adorable. So, pigs, my conclusion is basically that pigs in seasons doesn't work. That's what I'm basically telling you. So, that being said, it's not all loss. We have another option, and that I think is the option that I'm going to take starting tomorrow. In terms of the fields that we have growing out there, I'm going to be able to harvest those, but I need to make enough money to buy myself a harvester, and now I need a harvester with 2 different headers. So that's going to be a whole other thing. That's going to be, I'm probably going to end up doing it with the 1660. I'm not going to go crazy because we're not going to be living here for much longer. But I will bring in that harvest and we will sell it. And I've got to get rid of my herd of pigs because I'm not going to waste any more money trying to maintain productivity on a herd that has no productivity at all, because their only product is more pigs. And they're kind of done with that. Oh, hang on a second. Just give me 1 second here. Just make sure I close this gate. Oh, this is our beet field over here. It's just a little one because it's sugar beet, and sugar beet harvesting makes me lose the will to live. So let's just close that gate so nobody wanders through our beet field. And that's it. So for today, we are done. Join me again tomorrow when we will solve the pig problem by going to a placeable. And we're going to end up at the end of this experiment with a bit more money than we originally thought. But while we're at it, and now that I've had a taste for production maps from my other game, but my multi-game play, I can do that instead. So I'm gonna go home. I'm actually gonna go to the pub and have a beer now because I'm done working and it's still daylight out. They also have an excellent steak and kidney pie at the pub. And I will see you guys in the morning when we go even further in debt. And I mean, we're gonna go crazy in debt to try to get out of debt, if you know what I mean. This is, of course, it's a Hail Mary. I'm not convinced that this is going to work either, but we're going to give it a shot. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm sorry if the videos are coming out a little bit slow, but it's been a busy week. Ah, dang it. England. I'm in England. Oh, dear. And, yeah, sorry, just scared myself. And, yeah, we'll see you guys soon. And I think I missed the pub. I missed the pub. Maybe I should go take a shower before I go to the pub. That's what I'll do. I'm going to go back to the bed and breakfast and have a shower, and then I'll have a beer. Anyway, oh my goodness gracious. Just madness. By the way, on this Landy, little bonus here, I can open the doors, crank open the windows. There's a bunch of icy. Thank you, Virtual Farmer. This is an excellent, excellent mod. All right. You guys have fun, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.